With Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror, that means Christmas is almost here. But first, it's time for one more episode of Sparked before we head off to winter break. Tonight, recapping the top hits and misses of this year's Cyber Monday, a look at not one, but two space missions, and later a fun little experiment you can follow along with right at home. Don't go away, we have all of that and more right here on VUTV. Sparked begins right now. Welcome to the season finale of VUTV's Sparked. I'm your host, Colin Luft, and thank you for joining me this Christmas season for the show keeping you up to date on everything in the world of science, technology, and innovation. This Friday evening, we have an exciting lineup ahead of us, but first, let's dive right into tonight's Fast Five. Five people in North Carolina are now able to see, some of them for the first time in their lives. They are either blind or visually impaired, but they received these so-called e-sight glasses. It's a breakthrough technology that can restore vision to some people who cannot see. The recipients, some of them as young as 7 now, say they're looking forward to seeing Christmas lights, reading, watching sports games. One woman said the glasses helped her young daughter see her for the first time.
I hope that they're able to, other kids are able to find out about these devices and hopefully be able to get them too, because I feel like every child deserves this opportunity.
The Lumberton Lions Club, an organization that helps the blind and the visually impaired, raised money for the glasses. SpaceX successfully launched a satellite into orbit and landed part of a rocket on Thursday, November 15th. The two-stage Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida and delivered a communications satellite into orbit for the nation of Qatar. The first rocket stage then safely landed on a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. It was the second successful landing for that rocket. The first was in July. According to Space.com, the private space company has landed the Falcon 9 first stages 30 times so far, and reflown those boosters 16 times. Reusing rockets is the key to SpaceX's plan to cut the costs of spaceflight. And staying with space, NASA's InSight lander reached Mars Monday, and mission control erupted with pride. The device launched on May 5th and is designed to get an in-depth look at the red planet. It will examine the inner structure of Mars to help answer questions about the solar system. Scientists say they hope to understand the formation and evolution on Mars and other planets. InSight will gather information useful in preparing for human exploration of the red planet. NASA said the InSight mission will last 2 years.
Touchdown confirmed.
I was terrified, just all the things that could go wrong. And we've been practicing this, and we've been training, and we've been thinking about it, and it was just an amazing experience.
And the culmination of all that time and having everything go right and all the work that's gone into it, all the testing, and to know just how precarious it really is and how big of a challenge it is and how the team just made it look so easy. But to watch it unfold like that is just, it's mind-bending.
Just hours after landing, InSight managed to send back this image, which was posted to the official InSight Twitter account with the caption, "My first picture on Mars. My lens cover isn't off yet, but I just had to show you a look at my new home." From Alibaba to Tencent, Chinese tech firms rarely find massive success outside of their own huge domestic market. But one startup from Shenzhen is doing business with thousands of schools around the world. Matt Rivers reports on MakeBlock, the company teaching children to build robots and code at the same time.
This is a robot.
When Jason Wong was a kid, toys didn't look like this. No robots, just model cars or plastic figures. And even those toys were out of reach.
I grew up in a very poor family.
But Wang, who comes from Eastern China, studied robotics at a good school. And after graduation, he came up with an idea: build a new, affordable toy to help young children realize their own ideas. He called it MACBOOK.
It makes creating simple.
So here's the concept. You buy a kit starting at around $80 that comes with metal building blocks, but also motors, gears, and modules you can program through basic coding to do fun stuff like play music, walk across a table, even fly.
Programming on a drone, you'll find
this 5-year-old startup isn't much of a startup anymore. MACBOOK is one of the rare Chinese tech companies finding commercial success outside China. And the latest funding round valued the company at more than $350 million.
Many schools, not only in China, outside of China, many schools, they need this kind of solutions to help kids to build robots, to learn programming.
Like many startups, Wang's journey began here in Shenzhen, close to the supply chain and much needed money. Wang got early investment from HAX, a venture capital group that helps ideas get off the ground. More and more of their funding applicants are now Chinese, and that's not the only change they're seeing.
Chinese startups have gone from, we want to become a success in America and then come back to China, to now being proudly Chinese, designed in China, innovated in China, and manufactured in China.
The economy is changing too. A rapidly expanding middle class means a new generation of young Chinese now find more expensive technology well within reach, which means more customers for Wang, like at this Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, or STEM, after-school program.
STEM education is becoming more and more popular in China, so we can see the growth of our local business.
Jason Wang now makes a very good living, and he does it by making toys. He's come a long way from the kid who couldn't afford any of his own. Matt Rivers, CNN, Shenzhen.
And finally, most football players in America are younger than high school age, but there's still very little data tracking how children can get hit on the field. A team of engineers at Virginia Tech are now focusing on this young group as they develop the first ever ratings for youth football helmets. Natasha Chen got a look at how researchers are using sensors and dummies to help manufacturers make better helmets specifically for children.
Good stick!
These 10 to 12-year-olds are working hard to make an impact on the field.
Go, 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 go!
But their impact off the field may last long after game day.
Do they kind of poke at your head? Are they hard?
For 7 years, Virginia Tech Helmet Lab engineers have put these accelerometers inside youth helmets.
Yeah, they're stiff, so what we want the sensors to do is remain in contact with the head when they get hit. So we're measuring how the head moves, not how the helmet moves.
Associate Professor Steve Rosen says the sensors give them information about the type of hits happening on the field. They recreate the same motions with dummies wearing different youth helmet models in hopes of publishing the first ever 1 through 5 star ratings for youth football helmets by early 2019.
All right, there you go, Lamont. Good to go, bud.
6 teams of middle school-aged players around the country are wearing the sensors.
Go, 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 go. There you go.
Including Angelica Mendoza's son, Thomas.
When he gets up against those really big boys, I definitely about have a heart attack.
While she watches her son, the engineers are also in the stands watching the computer screen.
So as plays happen on the field, this will update with each impact. There we go, there we go.
Coaches Kendrick Golston and Kevin Jones know about concussions. They played in college and in the NFL, where if they got hit, they were given smelling salts.
You break the sticks and it smells like ammonia, and it like gives you a kickback. You kind of like, oh, it like brings you back a little bit.
They say if the game is going to survive, kids have to learn how to play differently.
Most of them won't play professional, so you don't want a game that they're playing in middle school, high school, to deter them for the rest of their lives.
And they're supportive of these ratings and data, helping manufacturers figure out how to make better helmets for children.
If you look at 2 football helmets, one's varsity and one's youth, there's practically no difference between them. And it's not because there's no effort to do that, it's because the data don't exist to suggest how they should be different.
Different because it takes less impact to give them a concussion. Kids' body proportions are different and their brains are still maturing.
Keep those feet chugging.
In Blacksburg, Virginia, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
Keep it moving, get the head across.
The Virginia Tech Helmet Lab tests helmets for various sports. They already have ratings published for varsity football, hockey, soccer, and bicycle headgear. Ratings for these youth helmets will be out in the spring. For those out there who passed on Black Friday, Cyber Monday was their turn to get a jump on this year's holiday shopping. Coming up next, some of the best tech gadgets of 2018 and more. And later, a severe weather science experiment. Stick around, Sparked will be right back.
In a world where entertainment is at risk, one man is given a mission, but he is about to face his biggest challenge yet. He will race against the clock and open doors to new possibilities that will save weekends as we know it.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for free movies.
Oh, I'll help you with that.
Just go to movies.valpo.edu. They have all the best movies, including The Hobbit and 22 Jump Street.
Whoa, it's that easy?
It's that easy.
Grab some popcorn, grab some buddies, and watch movies.valpo.edu's great selection.
Well, I think that's all we need. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll be in touch.
Okay, this is it. Just shake his hand and walk out with your head held high. Don't mess this up.
Thank you. Nailed it.
Don't let a bad handshake get in the way of getting the job you want. Find out more at the Career Center.
What is passion? At Valpo, it's something that pours out of us uncontrollably. It's a late night shot of caffeine, cramming for finals, a jam session with friends. It sees deep into space, turns big stuff into small potatoes, floats boats and floods the senses. Passion is alive, it has a heartbeat, and it lives in you. How do we know? Because at Valpo, passion is who we are.
Welcome back to Sparked. One of the best parts of living in 2018 has got to be Cyber Monday. Being able to avoid the long lines after Thanksgiving and get all your Christmas shopping done from the comfort of your own computer is a real treat. This year, there were some great deals and very cool tech gadgets available, although not everything was a big hit. Let's take a look at what was hot and what was not from this year's Cyber Monday with the top 3 Cyber Monday hits and misses. First up on our Cyber Monday hits list is definitely TVs, but not just one, it was all of them. If you needed a new TV, I hope you found one this week. LG, Samsung, Sony, and plenty more brands had some incredible steals on televisions this year. Next was the iRobot Roomba 890 that was just available for around $350, the lowest price yet for the newest addition to the Roomba lineup. One of my favorite parts of this sweet product is Roomba's patented dirt detect sensors actually alert the Roomba to work harder on the high traffic zones of your home. And finally, there was a lot of hype this year surrounding headphones, but the best deal in sound was actually a speaker. Vizio's 32-inch soundbar could be found for $40 off. And it was one of the best and cheapest prices around. Combined with the super sleek look, the Vizio soundbar was definitely a hit. And moving to misses. Last episode, we took a brief look at the new Apple MacBook announced just a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, if you were looking for a new MacBook or iPhone this year, we hope you shop somewhere else besides Apple themselves. For a company rolling out new products right before the holidays, it was very easy to find devices for hundreds cheaper at other sites, with Walmart and T-Mobile leading that charge, and Target also providing some strong iPhone deals. Best Buy's website crashed not once but twice during retail's most crucial shopping period. Customers complained they were unable to complete purchases online, and many complained that the company was ill-prepared for the record number of Cyber Monday shoppers this year. Finally, our last Cyber Monday miss of the year was Black Friday. Last Monday, American shoppers spent a record $5 billion in 24 hours, marking a 16.9% increase in dollars spent online compared to Black Friday. Less Americans are shortening their Thanksgivings to stand outside for a Black Friday that seems to start earlier and earlier every year. And that's it for this year's Cyber Monday Hits and Misses. Sparked will return after the break with an experiment and a special guest, and later look at our final quote of the day and a few events coming up right here at Valpo. We will be right back.
VUTV, your campus, your story.
Welcome back to Sparked. Now everyone knows how to mix baking soda and vinegar to create a volcano, so I decided to take it to the next level. In just a few minutes, we will teach you how to create your very own tornado simulation with just a few simple household items. Before we do that, I invited a special guest tonight to go over exactly what causes a tornado. Let's send it over to 15 meteorologist and co-host of Weather with Blake and Heather, Blake Harms, to teach us the science behind tornadoes.
So tornadoes are ranked on a scale of F0 to F5 based on their strength, and the strength is usually determined by wind damage. So the first type we have here is an EF0 tornado. Now these typically pack winds of 65 to 85 miles per hour. With these, you'll see some tree branches, maybe some weak trees blown down. Otherwise, there usually isn't significant widespread damage. EF1 is a little bit larger. We have winds from anywhere between 86 and 110 miles per hour. This is when you'll start to see some of those larger trees come down. Again, not widespread house damage unless it's a rather weak structure, but it's when you start getting into the EF2, EF3 range where you start to see a little more damage. So EF2 here is when you start to see winds in excess of 110 miles per hour all the way up to 135 miles per hour. That's where we'll start to see some of that more significant wind damage, tornado damage rather, in homes and structures, and that intensifies even further with an EF3 tornado where winds can gust as high as 165 miles per hour. Now, this is the first of the major tornado category here. F4 will bring catastrophic damage, winds up to 200 miles per hour. F4s very rarely occur here in Northwest Indiana, and when they do, they impact the region very significantly. And EF5 is the strongest tornado that we see here in the United States with winds over 200 miles per hour. If you're looking at an EF5 tornado, you're looking at complete obliteration of towns. Fortunately, with what we'll be doing today, we won't be seeing any sort of obliteration. More of an innocent science project here, huh, Colin?
Yeah, thanks, Blake. Would you mind walking through what we need to make our
Yeah,
own
so
tornado?
first here, all you need to make your own tornado are just a few simple things you might be able to find around your house. We have 2 2-liter bottles, duct tape, water. Optionally but not encouraged is dish soap and food coloring as well.
Yeah, so all we have too far is one of the 2 liters filled about 1/3 of the way. Blake, if you could just add a few drops of the food coloring, a few drops of the soap, and then we'll get going.
Here we go.
Yeah, so the red food coloring and then the dish soap that Blake's adding right now, that just helps the effect show up better. If we were to do it with clear water, you wouldn't see it as well, especially with the green bottle. And then the soap just helps it last a little longer. So for now, we're just gonna duct tape them together. Like, you wanna put the green on top. Definitely don't put the one with water on top first. You're gonna end up with water everywhere, and we don't want it all over our desk. And then I'm gonna go ahead and duct tape them together very tight. Got a brand new desk this year. Don't want that to get messed up.
No, we do not.
Then after this is done, we're just gonna flip it over, and we should be able to see the effect. Just a couple more strips.
There we go.
We'll do one more.
Doesn't hurt to do one more, right?
Doesn't hurt to do one more.
All right, you want the honors?
Oh yeah, I'll do it. So we just flip it over. And you should be able to see a tornado form right there.
That's pretty cool.
That is very exciting.
Well, certainly neat experiment. Thanks for having me on, Colin.
Yeah, so now you know how to create your very own tornado simulation. You catch Blake on Weather with Blake and Heather. Make sure to check it out at valpovutv.org/shows. You'll definitely want to tune in next season, as we're going to teach you how to create your very own lava lamp and plenty more. After the break, looking at some events you don't want to miss right here on campus. Sparked will be right back.
VUTV, your campus, your story.
Welcome back to Sparked. Let's take a look at what is happening right here on campus at Valparaiso University. Tomorrow, Saturday, December 1st, for 1 to 3 p.m., the Council for Engineering Inclusion and Equity, the CEIE, is hosting a Learn and Build fair, and there will be pizza. This event is to promote membership of the student organizations and is a great time to get involved. Professor Blood will have 3D printer training, Valpo Robotics, National Society of Black Engineers, and IEEE will all be there, and plenty more. Next Friday, December 7th, from 2 to 5 p.m. in the VU Center for the Arts is Hour of Code 2018. The Hour of Code is a 1-hour introduction to computer science designed to demystify code and show that anyone can learn the basics. Last year's event made history. Over 100 million students have now discovered how accessible and fun computer science can be by doing just 1 hour of code. Every Apple store in the world has hosted an hour of code, and world leaders like former President Obama and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wrote their first line of code as part of the campaign. So whether you're student, faculty, or staff, join Valpo's Hour of Code 2018 and spend just 1 hour learning the basics of coding from Valpo students. Want to stay all afternoon? No problem. And that takes us right into final thoughts. Welcome to Final Thoughts. First up is the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day from Helen Hayes. The expert at anything was once a beginner. While we're on break, go check out our VUTV social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, all of those at Valpo VUTV. Don't forget to visit our website, valpovutv.org. We're always adding new and exclusive content. Over the break, you can go back and watch all your favorite Sparked episodes over and over again, or check out all of our other original VUTV programming at valpovutv.org/shows. And that's it for this season. I'm Colin Luft, and this has been VUTV's Sparked, the show keeping you up to date on everything in the world of science, technology, and innovation. Before we leave, I'd like to extend a big thank you to our incredible production staff in the back, our co-producers Heather Bricka and Carmen Vincent. And to our viewers, I personally would like to thank you for making Sparked Season 1 #1 on VUTV in average viewership this fall semester. Have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will see all of you in 2019 for Sparked Season 2. Thank you, and good night. Yeah, actually the best part about this one is once it's got to the bottom, all you have to do is flip it right over.
Get the same excitement all over
And you can just
again.
keep doing it over and over again.
Wow.
Very cool. That one didn't show up too well, so we'll probably just end up cutting that one out in post. If we want to zoom in on it so we can cut it out.
Uh-oh, we got a leak.
Uh-oh. Hey, somebody run to the bathroom and get paper towels. Please, 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 as fast as you can.
When the tornadoes get wild.
Do you think that would be better?
Okay, I think I've stopped the leakage. It's basically as good as Flex Seal. So I'm supposed to flip it back over, right?
Why isn't it tornadoing?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just glugging.